Bandwidth and hosting for JapanCast.net has been provided by Site5. Site5 offers web hosting starting at just $4.95 per month, with 99.99% guaranteed uptime. Head over to site5.com and sign up for your 30-day free trial today. JapanCast.net is brought to you by Audible. Get a free audiobook download at audiblepodcast.com/JapanCast. Over 75,000 titles to choose from, including hundreds of Japanese language books. Support us by supporting them. Visit audiblepodcast.com/JapanCast today.
JapanCast.net.
Welcome to JapanCast.net video episode number 11. I'm Geraldo Rivera. And you are? JapanCast.net is your source for all things Japan. Whether you're a black belt in karate and you want to speak more than ich, ni, san, shi, or maybe your Japanese is limited to Mr. Miyagi saying, wax on, wax off, JapanCast.net is your place to go. What?
Huh?
Oh.
Gerardo Rivera?
Yes.
誰?
Geraldo.
Who?
You know with the mustache?
Oh, Gerardo.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy, why? But is he, I mean, do you guys know who he is? I mean, unless you watch news or something, you don't know who
I'm guessing the
is.
younger viewers don't have any idea who that is, but people my age would know.
You think? Oh, well.
Anyway, we got a lot to cover. First off, the big news. iPhone app is out. It works on the iPhone, the iPad, and iPod. I would recommend the newer devices like the iPhone 4 or the iPad just because it's very graphically intensive. I posted a preview or a promotional video, an instructional video. If you go to JapanCast.net and click on app support, there's a video that I shot on how it works so you can see before you buy it. There is a free version that was out for about a day, and then we realized that the version that was uploaded was missing all the kanji. So took it down. So I think about 100 people managed to download it. Just if you have downloaded it and you're wondering, why are there no kanji in here? It has a button for kanji, but it's not showing anything. Once again, we're waiting for Apple to approve the updated version, and I don't know how long it'll take. They are very slow.
Of course, because there's so many people submitting their stuff. So.
If you have a jailbroken iPhone, it is also in the ROC store, and I'm guessing I'm only speaking to the geeks out there, but if your iPhone is jailbroken, it's slightly cheaper in the ROC store. But I couldn't put the free version up because it uses the IAD network, and I wasn't sure how that worked with ROC. So, second thing, quickly, I talked to Michael Arias, the director of Tech on Concrete, and it looks like September is going to be when we're going to do our Skype interviews. So if you have questions on living in Japan, working in the animation industry in Japan, anything like that, this is your chance to ask somebody who is living the dream. He always wanted to live in Japan. He always wanted to direct a Japanese animated movie and had the chance to do it, and he continues to live there. So if you're interested in that, send us your questions for him. You can send them directly to me, Paul at JapanCast.net. Anything else?
No.
Okay. Up next, we have the news from Japan. Now, this story actually came out back in July, but there's more and more articles about it that have been coming out, and so I thought it'd be really interesting to cover this. What started out was that the oldest man, supposedly oldest man living in Tokyo, who was supposed to be 111 years old, was found mummified in his house, in bed. And I saw this article on Japan Today, and people hadn't seen him for 30 years. And his family said that the reason you haven't seen him is because he wanted to live the life of a Buddha, and he's asked nobody to bother him. Well, what happened was, apparently he died 30 years ago, and his family had been collecting, and his wife died at the age of 101. His daughter, her husband, and their 2 kids all live in the same house, which is traditional in Japan. I'm assuming the daughter's the oldest. And they've been collecting his government, I'm not sure what it's called, not Social Security in Japan, but they got 9.5 million yen when his wife died. And
It's not retirement.
they said it was government.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because the government was coming to check on.
Wife was a teacher or something,
Okay.
and then
So that was her pension for teaching.
I think so.
So when the police came to check, they found him mummified in bed with newspapers from 1978. And when the police interviewed the grandchildren, they said, Grandpa's very scary. He's a very scary man. And we saw a skull in his room. So because of this happening and because of the heat wave in Japan, now they're doing checks on everybody over the age of 100 because the oldest woman in Japan has not been seen also
Yeah.
in years and years and years. And so they're now thinking that there's a lot of people who are supposed to be over 100 years old who may have died a long time ago, and the family's just collecting
Yeah.
from that. So I thought that was really, really interesting. But 2 things that came out of this that I thought was interesting. First, some of the comments on these articles from people, one of them was, I had always been under the impression that Japan had the largest amount of people over 100.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, we have shows on Discovery Channel and Learning Channel about how old people live to be in Japan. But so I did some research, and I found in Japan they have 40,400 people over the age of 100. However, do you know what country actually has the most people over 100? I was shocked by this.
No.
I thought it would be China myself because it's such a big country and they have so many people. I just thought, and because the Asian genetics and the genetics, I thought that they would be
You think?
the longest lived. The United States.
So.
The United States has 104,099 people over the age of 100, more than double what Japan has. I was totally shocked.
Even with bad eating.
With all of our big fat fatties in America, we are living over 100. There's more than double. So I thought that was really interesting. And then
I didn't know.
the second thing that I thought was interesting was that the family had claimed that he wanted to live the life of a Buddha and that he had self-mummified. And I thought, what the heck is self-mummification? I've never heard of that. So I did some research on that. It's called Sokushinbutsu.
Sokushinbutsu.
And I found some articles on it. I guarantee you this guy did not do this based on what I've read. It takes 3,000 days to accomplish. And it's broken up into 3 1,000-day periods. For the first 1,000 days, you eat soba dough, walnuts, hazelnuts, and nutmeg. And these monks did this. And actually, a certain sect of monks did this. They would gather these nuts from the forest and eat. And that was to reduce the amount of fat in their body because fat decomposes quickly after you die. So after that, the second 1,000 day, then they limit their diet to the bark and roots of the pine tree for 1,000 days.
Has to be pine tree.
Has to be a pine tree. I don't know why. This also then reduces the fat and reduces the water in their body. Near the end of the second 1,000 day period, the monk would drink tea made from the juice of the urushi
Urushi, yeah.
tree, which is used to make varnish. for Japanese and Chinese lacquerware.
Yeah.
They varnish, yeah. So they would drink a tea made out of that. It's highly toxic. It said in some of these articles,
if you touch it,
you get a rash.
You get rash, yeah.
So even the fumes can cause rashes.
Right.
So they would drink this, which would then cause you to vomit, to perspire, and to urinate excessively. It also would build up in their system as poison. You can't get rid of it once it's in. So they would drink this and it would add more and more poison into their body. The poison, though, would get rid of the organisms that would decay the body. So it would start to mummify themselves by drinking this tea. When they got to where they were nearly dead and they were in horrible pain, they would there's a Kaikoji Temple wrote, when priests were near death, stone shelters were constructed 3 meters underground. The priests were put into wooden coffins and buried in the shelters with only a bamboo tube for air and a bell.
Yeah.
In the coffin, the priest would meditate, recite mantras, and maintain their diet. They would continue drinking that tea. And
at this point, maybe not eating or drinking anything because you're in the coffin and then just the air.
Okay, well, this is from the Kaikoji Temple. So, yeah, I wondered about that too. I didn't know if they brought down some with them or what. But so in the tomb, they only had bark and roots to eat.
Okay.
So that's it, and then the bell. So the priests, the living priests, would listen for the breathing, the chanting, and the bell. And when that stopped, they knew he had died. They would dig him up after 3 years and 3 months. And then they would bring them to shrines and worship them as living gods. And because of how they did this, they kept their internal organs, which is different than Egyptian mummification. So I just thought that was really fascinating, and I guarantee you the guy in Tokyo did not do that. After reading that, it sounds horrible. Did you know any of that?
No.
It's really interesting. I really was just completely fascinated.
I had to read about it. Yeah, I didn't know. Just gonna practice, in Buddhist.
Yeah. So that's it for news. It's kind of weird and disturbing, but really fascinating.
Hopefully you guys are not eating anything.
All right. So up next we have the JapanCast Culture Corner. Okay, so I don't think we're doing anime this week.
Nope.
What are we gonna do?
We're gonna learn a song.
Oh, good.
指切り弦満の歌を歌いましょう。So let's sing 指切り弦満 song. 指切り弦満 is one of the many children's folk songs in Japan.
Okay.
So I'm gonna read just lyrics first. 指切り弦満嘘ついたら針千本伸ます。指切った。Let's take a look at vocabulary. So, 指 means finger or fingers. 切り means cut. And 弦満 means to hit 10,000 times with a fist. It's a punishment. 弦満
Okay.
Do you want 弦満?
No,
10,000 times with a fist. To hit 10,000 times with a fist. And 嘘 means lie. 嘘ついたら means if you tell a lie. And 針 means needle. 針千本. So 千 means 1,000. Bon in this case, 千本. Bon is a counter for like skinny, long
That's
objects.
one of those things that it's, I think, very hard for people to learn in Japanese is counters. Different, we've covered that in the audio lessons. We covered that before.
Right.
Different counters. It's takes a long time to remember my.
Yeah, mine is fine because it doesn't change the pronunciation. But like home, this case, senbon, this one, long skinny object, we have hon, bon, or pon. It changes, depends on what number comes in front of it. So, hari senbon means 1,000 needles. And nomasu, this comes from nomu, to drink something. But nomasu means I will make you or somebody swallow something. So in this case, hari senbon, so
This
1,000.
is not going very well.
Yeah. And then the last one, yubi kitta. Yubi finger, kitta means cut.
We have needles. I'm going to make you swallow and
then-
cut 10,000 punches and cut your finger.
Right. Hi. So now let's practice the song. 聞いて繰り返してください. Please listen and repeat. 指切り指切り玄満玄満嘘ついたら嘘ついたら針千本針千本飲ます飲ます指切った指切った So, let's sing together.
We have a special guest for the Sing Together section.
はい。
All right. Well, stop this and we'll have our special guest sing with us. And then we'll come back for a little explanation. Quickly.
指切り玄馬うつついたら針千本飲ます指切った
So now for intermediate or advanced learners, here's an explanation of this song. 江戸時代、遊郭の遊女は様々な男性と関係を持っていたので、その中で本気で好きになった男性に愛を誓うときは、左の小指を切り落として相手の男性に送ることで自分の誠意を伝えていました。この遊女の愛の誓いを指切りと言っていました。こうした遊女たちの風習が庶民にも伝わり、子供たちが約束をするときに指切りの真似事をするようになりました。その後、約束をするときは指切りのことを歌ったわらべ歌を歌うようになり、わらべ歌が歌い継がれるうちに、針を千本飲ますや、げんこつで1万発殴る、玄満などの歌詞が足され、その後、現在の指切り玄満嘘ついたら針千本飲ます、指切ったという歌詞になったと考えられています。
Okay. So you want me to give a quick...
Yeah, brief.
Interrupt me if I get it wrong. Back in Edo, Japan, Edo era, they had what you'd call a red light district. And the prostitutes there, if they had somebody who they actually cared for, they wanted to show that they really did care for this person, or would you say love this person?
Yeah,
Or
you
love-
are the one.
You're the one for me.
Yeah.
They would cut their finger off. Was it right finger?
小指、
The pinky finger.
ピンキ。
They would cut it off and give it to the person as
show.
a gift to show you're the one. And I'm thankful we don't live in those times anymore.
Right.
Really.
But unless you can,
Oh,
you know.
thank you.
No, you-
Just what I wanted. I'll hang it up.
No, unless you go place like that, you don't have to experience that kind of thing.
Okay. Well, it wasn't common outside of red light district for people to cut their fingers off.
No, it's just that.
Because I know Yakuza, they cut their fingers off to
Yeah,
show
right, exactly. It's the same
how
thing.
tough they are.
So I
Same
think,
idea.
Yeah, same idea.
So, what do you do with it then? Oh, goodness
I
me.
do
That's a great thing to have. I'm going to keep it in my pocket. I don't know what you do with it. So, but anyway, that's
So it comes from, promise, I promise. This
so
is a
that's
promise.
what kids are saying in Japan from the red light district. Prostitutes cutting their fingers off.
But nobody really knows, where
Yeah.
this song actually comes from.
We have the same kind of thing in English with songs that kids
Scary
sing.
one?
Yeah, Ring Around the Rosie is one of those songs that kids have no idea what the meaning behind it is, but it's not very pleasant. All right, let's move on. We have an idiom this week, so let's go to this week's phrase or idiom.
Idiom of this week is すいません。後の祭り。後の祭り。Which means too late. It's too late. 後の祭り。So literally, the day after a festival. 祭り means a festival. And 後 means later or after. So, 後の祭り, literally the day after a festival, but it really means too late. Something is too late. So, for example, we use this idiom this way. 今から一生懸命勉強を始めても後の祭りですよ。今から一生懸命勉強を始めても後の祭りですよ。Which means even if you start studying hard now, it's too late.
Yes, I know some kids
Family.
who are like that.
Yeah.
You get night before the test.
Right.
I'm going to learn the whole thing. So it's too late.
Right. 後の祭り. Too late.
Great. So now it's time to thank our sponsors. We have a new sponsor this week, as you saw at the beginning of the show, Site5.com. Site5 has generously provided us with the bandwidth and server for the show. They are an incredible web hosting provider, and they have they start at $4.95 a month to get unlimited websites. You get a control panel that lets you install things like WordPress. Just with a single click, it sets it all up for you. And they'll migrate, if you're on another host that you're paying more for, they'll actually migrate your site over to theirs and give you a 45-day money-back guarantee. I, being the geek that I am, I've been on a lot of different hosts, I've had websites since like 1997, I think.
Okay.
So I've had a lot of different web hosts, and Site5 by far is the best I've ever had, mainly because of their customer support. There's been a lot of times where with WordPress you can get all these plugins and stuff, and plugins, because a lot of them are free, sometimes aren't very well made. And I have downloaded and installed plugins that have caused all kinds of problems for our site, and where it was creating bug reports and filling up, and I didn't know that it was filling up our server, And I kept getting these warnings that I'm using up all kinds of disk space, and I couldn't figure out why. And these guys actually, it wasn't anything they did. I did it. They went in and fixed it for me. So just really, if you're looking for more than just your, point and click, set it up kind of web host, you want to have something that's a little more controllable. These guys are phenomenal and really do have great customer service. And like I said, I think they have a 30-day free trial too, in addition to the 45-day money-back guarantee. So you go 30 days without paying, and then another 15 past that, you can go, I changed my mind, give me my money back, and you get your money back. So check out site5.com. And of course, Audible, our first sponsor. They give you a 14-day free trial membership if you go to audiblepodcast.com/JapanCast. You have to go there. You can't just go to audible.com and sign up and send them a thing and say, hey, I heard about you on JapanCast, because we don't get credit then. We only get credit if you go to audiblepodcast.com/JapanCast. And we were talking about other uses for Audible. I know we have parents that watch this, and you actually use this for learning English and reading books, but it's good for kids. Or if your native language is not English and you want to practice, what you do is go to your library and get a book, and then get that same book unabridged on Audible. I'm thinking for kids or for non-English speakers. You can then listen and follow along in the book, and your kids then learn proper pronunciation. There may be words they don't know, vocabulary words. They may not know how to pronounce a word. It really helps build up their ability to read, and it makes it much more enjoyable because the narrators who do these books do voices. There's a lot of times there's music and sound effects and things. It's more like an old-time radio show than just somebody just reading you a book. So for you parents out there, if you're looking for a way to help boost your kids' interest in reading, this is a great way to do it. It's not, hey, I told you to go read. You put the headphones on and let them, they'll get into it. So as a parent, I would recommend that for, you parents out there, is a way to get your kids more interested in reading. And so those are our sponsors this week.
Right.
And let's see, what do we have next?
Next is vocabulary.
Vocabulary. All right, let's head over to vocabulary. So what do we have this week for vocabulary?
We have まあまあ落ち着いてまあまあ落ち着いて You know what that means?
I do because it's right here in front of me. I'm cheating.
Cheater. Okay, まあまあ落ち着いて means hey, take it easy or calm down. So 落ち着いて this part 落ち着いて this comes from 落ち着くwhich means to calm down or to settle down. 落ち着いて this ends with て this is called て form. So, 落ち着いて is a て form of this verb 落ち着く to calm down, to settle down. じゃあ let's practice. 聞いて繰り返してください。まあまあまあまあ落ち着いて落ち着いてまあまあ落ち着いてまあまあ落ち着いて
I think that's very hard for us to say chi and tsui together.
落ち着いて
Yeah,
Yeah, for me it's hard too. So I hate this tachitsuteto sound. It's really hard for me too. So but anyway, this ma is a now, there. Or hey. So ma, 落ち着いて Hey, take it easy or calm down.
Great. Those of you who are donation subscribers, check your email for additional study materials. Coming up next, we have the JapanCast Mailbag. All right, we got a few emails and tweets this week.
はい。
First, Clemens from Switzerland, and I wanted to post this just because my great-grandfather is from Switzerland. So, greetings to those of you in Switzerland.
German speaking.
German speaking, yeah. Yeah, he was from Erlach, Switzerland. It's actually a very interesting story, and someday maybe I can talk about it, but he came when he was 16, I think, with $20 in his pocket to the United States alone. Anyway, Clemens from Switzerland made a good point when it comes to donations we talked about last week. He doesn't have a PayPal account. He wanted to know if we could embed a donate button into the feed in iTunes, but I don't think we can do that. I don't think Apple would let us do that, and I actually am not sure how you would do that. I know there's other services similar to PayPal that are more popular in other countries. So if you guys know of something that is more popular in Europe, email it to us and let us know. We're open to suggestions. We had toyed with the idea of making the podcast pay and doing away with advertising, but we have a lot of college students, we have a lot of high school students, we have even younger than that, who really don't have the money to be buying podcasts. So I'd rather keep it free if we can. And those of you who've graduated and have a job and can afford to kick us a couple of bucks, that's great. But, if you're in high school and you need date money, you don't need to be spending money on
Movie
us.
and pizza money.
Exactly. So I'd rather keep it this way if we can. We may eventually create really structured lessons and put those into Amazon's DVD library and their on-demand video library, but those would be not so, culture and what's going on. It would be straightforward lessons.
Right. Yeah, I love doing that.
So more of that kind of stuff. We might look into doing that. Yeah, please send us suggestions if you do. If you're in Europe and there's a way, let us know. Justin wrote us, and he wanted to know if the JapanCast app will be available for Windows with using a tablet for input. And Robert sent me a tweet asking if there'd be an Android version. For Windows, probably not. We just don't have the resources to create a Windows version. Android, though, I would like to probably port it over to that. It's going to be a little bit down the road, but I would, Android growing as fast as it is, would like to get it into Android eventually. And let's see, Mark wrote to us and was asking about adding comments to the videos. Currently you can't comment if you're watching this on Vimeo. And that's mainly because we've seen how people comment on YouTube and they're not really very nice. I know you guys are all really cool and nice, but people stumble across our stuff, and you've seen the YouTube commenters, and they're just awful. And I'd rather just not have anything than that. You can come to JapanCast.net and watch the videos. They're embedded right in the site, and you can comment there. And then, of course, also on Facebook, you can go to, tinyurl.com/JapanCast. It's on the screen. And you can go to the Facebook page. I think last time we broadcast, we had like 180, 170 people on Facebook, and now we're just under 1,000 people on our Facebook page. So join up and send us comments. And any other comments or questions you have, please send them to us. Send them to hitomi@japancast.net. We love hearing from you guys. We would love to see your videos. So far, only Brittany's been the brave one. So create a video on YouTube and send us a link to it. Don't be shy. Don't be afraid. Anything you want to know about, it's fine. Japanese culture, anime, cosplay, any of that stuff. We'll do our best to answer. If you want to know about how to self-mummify,
No.
don't do that.
No.
Don't cut off your finger either and give it to somebody. That's just a bad idea. So your questions could be featured in a future show. And I think that's it for this week.
Right.
Thank you guys for all your support, and we'll see you soon.
はい、じゃあまたね。
JapanCast.net